and I was running a company and sponsoring Mick Grant's Durex Suzuki team. And he doesn't like sidecars, and I kept dripping onto him about sidecars. And he rang me up one day at work and said, there's a BSA sidecar in Motorcycle News for £1,500. Buy it or never, ever, ever talk to me about sidecars. So I bought it. And that's how it all started for me. And I started very late. I was 42 when I started racing, unlike Chris, who was just a mere
child.
Strip of a child.
A mere child. So how does this partnership work then? I'm always intrigued by how the sidecar pairings work, because I mean, is a one person very much in control? Who, you know, how do you sort of build that relationship?
Well, basically, I have nothing at all to do with it. I just turn up and jump on it, and then Nigel and the lads do all the work on it, which is about true, really, isn't it?
Yes.
The thing that amazes me about it is that you, when you're going around the course, you can't communicate to each other, can you? Because you can't really hear each other.
No, I put earplugs in, so I definitely don't want to hear Chris. I mean, if you were to say to somebody, now let's start sidecar racing, and we'll have this class that has 3 wheels, and the front wheel won't be in line with the back wheel. The guy who is driving it lies on the engine. You'll need another person to balance the flipping thing. And it won't steer around a left-hand corner the same way as it does a right-hand corner, and you can't be contained in it. They would never allow it.
Really?
We are wonderful dinosaurs, and it's just great to do it.
And I mentioned the charity raising aspect, which is really what makes you guys unique, and it's something that's been, Nigel, a passion of yours really for the past few years. What made you first go down that road?
Unlike Chris, I've never ever been a great motorcyclist. I've been okay, but Chris has won Grand Prix and stuff like that. And I felt very, very privileged to actually get a ride in the TT. And I had a wonderful boss who died from leukemia. And I thought, well, if I can do something by something good by being involved in the TT, I would do it. And that's when I started fundraising. And I started first of all for leukemia research. I've done pumps for kids on the Isle of Man. That's for the diabetic children, and latterly for the breast cancer charity. And what we do, which is unique, is that every penny that goes to us goes to the charity. Nothing is taken for racing, and we insist on the companies and individuals who sponsor us that they write the cheque or the bank transfer direct to the charity. Nothing comes in our name, so everything you see on that bike has gone into the charity. And this year we'll put in excess of £5,000 towards the breast cancer charity.
That's brilliant. Yeah, it's going towards breast cancer now, which is just fantastic. And in terms of preparation then, Chris, I know we mentioned Southern 100 coming up very, very shortly. So how much time do you and Nigel then spend together, sort of working on that, sort of formulating your plan for the event? You're going to say not very much, aren't you? I can just tell by your face.
Like none. We normally have a discussion after the first practice session about things. Sometimes just certain things with the bike we might need to change, and certain lines that I think Nigel might be better using, and it's fairly light-hearted really.
10 to 3, this is Women Today on Manx Radio, and we have been joined by the local sidecar pairing of Nigel Smith and Chris Magahan, who will be in action again at the Southern 100 next week, where the Bus of Love will be available for people to go and see. And what are you going to be doing in the Bus of Love, dare I ask, Nigel?
Well, if you come in the Bus of Love, it's going to cost you, because there will be tins rattling for the Breast Cancer Now campaign, which we're very keen to push forward, because there are inspirational ladies on the Isle of Man, 14 of them, all volunteers, and there's 2 charities operating in the Isle of Man for breast cancer. The Breast Cancer Now is a charity that operates for basically research, and the Manx Breast Cancer one is where women have got the problem, and they are being looked after and treated in the island.
And to that end, Nigel, very briefly, you've set Christy and I a little challenge.
What I thought would be rather good is if you can raise the money for a sponsorship logo. We would love to have Women Today on the bike, and it'll stay on the bike till next year's TT. And what we will do, we will provide helmets, boots, leathers, gloves, and we will do a track day at Derby with one of you two, or both of you two, in the sidecar, so you can get to feel what it's like to be Chris Magahan lying down, head by a nice warm radiator while I do all the work.
Christy, that sounds right up your street.
And you've got to do it too if I do. I love the idea of it.
I will be there to film it.
What will probably happen is I'll be very excited by it and I'll be rubbish at it. You'll not want to do it. Get in and be amazing. That's what's going to happen, isn't it?
We shall see. Okay, is this challenge accepted?
Yes,
okay,
definitely.
Oh my Lord! Right, thanks so much for that, Nigel.